Now you might be wondering, what's the impact of presidential elections on the real estate market? So let's start there.
For many people, those unanswered thoughts can quickly spiral, causing fear and uncertainty to swirl through your mind.
So if you've been considering buying or selling a home this year, you're probably curious about what the election and our new president might mean for the housing market, and if it's going to be a good time to make your move.
Some of you might even be in a bit of a panic mode since the orange guy is back in the White House. Here's the good news that may surprise you. Typically, presidential elections have only had a small temporary impact on the housing market.
We took a look at the data from the last 15 presidential elections that shows exactly what happened to home sales. We did that because we wanted you to be able to move forward with the facts as you weigh the pros and cons of your home ownership plans in the new year.
What we found was that in the month leading up to a presidential election, from October to November, there's typically a slight slowdown in home sales.
Some consumers will simply wait it out before they make their purchase decision. However, it's important to know this slowdown is small and temporary.
Historically, home sales bounce right back and continue to rise the following year. In fact, data from the Department of Housing and Urban Development and the National Association of Realtors shows that after 9 of the last 11 presidential elections, home sales went up the year after the election. And it's been happening like that for the past 30 years.
Now you may also be wondering about home prices. Do prices come down during election years?
Not typically. Home prices generally rise over time, regardless of an election cycle. So based on what history shows, you can expect the current pricing trend in your local area to likely continue, barring any unusual market or economic circumstances.
The latest data from NAR reveals that after 7 of the last 8 presidential elections, home prices increased the following year. When Trump became president the first time in 2016, that following year, the median sales price of a single-family home in this country went from $235,000 to $248,000.
When Sleepy Joe won in 2020, home prices rose from $296,000 to $350,000 the following year.
By taking a look at this graph, which goes all the way back to 1992, you can see how home prices increased after each election, which means most likely expect the same thing to happen this time around. And those are just the facts.
The only time they didn't go up was from 2008 to 2009, which was during the height of the housing market crash. That was definitely not a typical year. Today's market, however, is much more resilient.
So let's talk mortgage rates. The third thing that's likely on your mind is mortgage rates, since if you're financing a home, they impact your monthly payment.
Looking at the last 11 presidential election years, data from Freddie Mac shows mortgage rates decreased from July to November in 8 of them. We're already starting to see that happen.
Most experts are already forecasting, and all signs right now indicate that this year will continue to follow the trend of declining rates. So if you're looking to buy a home in the coming months, this could be great news for your purchasing power.
So the bottom line is this. While it's natural to feel a bit uncertain during an election year, history shows the housing market remains strong and resilient. And this means you don't have to pause your plans in the meantime.
For help navigating this crazy market in this new year, later in the show, we'll drop all our contact information and how to connect with us if you're looking for a team of real estate agents that can help you reach whatever plans you might have in this new year. We've got you covered.